Welcome to week one of the Australian and New Zealand Scholarship Bootcamp. Next slide, please. So before we start, just a bit in terms of what we are expecting of today's session. So today's session, we're gonna go over who is Scholarship, ScholarSpace, why are we here, and then also our sponsor as well, and then what we do, okay? And the bootcamp is from February to March. Next, please. So in terms our vision, missions and objectives. So basically, we want to make sure that this bootcamp allow people the opportunity to have a mentor and to know how to write the scholarship. And we will do three things. So support scholarship applications, increase scholarship awareness, and help you guys to build a group where you can support each other, not just alumni with a mentee, but also the mentee to mentee. It's more like a peer support too. So by the end of this session, we will post the recording in our group, Telegram group. And what we expecting is we gonna have you guys do the eligibility check in terms of if you guys are eligible to apply for this two scholarship or not. And later on we're gonna check in on you to see if you have the group or not. And then Ollie and myself and perhaps a few more volunteer, we're gonna follow up on you. Just we don't want to be like a mad teacher who follow up micromanage all the time, but we want to make sure that you done your part, we did our part, so that it's increased your opportunity to ensure that you know you get the scholarship. You need to show us how bad you want it to. Next slide, please. So okay, so in term of the program, like Ollie mentions, not Ollie mentioned, myself mentioned. So it's more activity to come. So it's the first hour, it's gonna be training you guys, and then you guys gonna hear from mentor and from the panel discussions. Yes. Next slide, please. So what the schedule of this mentorship and then boot camp gonna be like? So starting from February to 1st of February to February 22nd, that is every Sunday. So again, we have one intensive training and then 1 hour of panel discussions from different speakers from different backgrounds who are the alumni of the Australian Award and New Zealand Award. And in terms of mentorship, so this gonna be more hands-on mentor starting from March 7th to the 28th. What you expecting from between these dates if you to submit your essay based on deadline so that we can guide you in terms of the best of our ability. Okay? So it is crucially important that you submit on time and make sure that we were able to find mentor and then we're able to make sure that we give you the feedback on time as well. Next slide, please. Yes. So yes, that's about us. Let's buckle up and we're ready to go. Sounds great?
Dạ vâng.
Okay, so let me walk you through a bit in terms of why we do it, how we do it, and all those. Next slide, please. It's the same roller coaster. So,
Yeah.
a bit of disclaimer. So, we are not the expert who, who who know how to apply and those who apply get it all the time, right? No, we're not.
Mm.
So we sharing this information based on our own experience as the alumni from different scholarship. So with this bootcamp, we try our best to invite our alumni from Australian Award and from New Zealand Award. And again, we are neither the expert nor a member of Australian Award Scholarship Selections Committee. So if you need more information about like how the scholarship, the resources, we highly recommend you check the official website so that you get well-informed information. And with this, uh, everything is free. And if people reach out to you charging for money from the ScholarSpace Bootcamp, that's not us. So all of our support are from the alumni themselves. And for the sponsorship, we will talk soon and we will inform you in terms of where the sponsorship money go to. Next, please. Next slide, please, Ollie. So yeah, the same thing. So the program itself is free of cost. So there's no charge. But if you get selected, just like Chai and Lynn, what we ask from you is to become a speaker and to become a mentor. So we pave the way for our next generations. Okay. So we cannot do it alone. We have sponsor, right? So and our sponsor is here representing DS Educations. Desmond, you want to talk a bit about DS Educations?
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much, and nice to see all everyone here. Yeah, so my name is Desmond. I'm a co-founder and CEO of DS Education. DS Education is founded by me and Bolin, and since 2022, and we have both more than 60 years of experience doing overseas education recruitment to Australia. And of course, we do have admission support and translation services and visa application guardians as one of these are the services that are provided to our students. And once again, we are based in Singapore and also in Cambodia. So it's very easy for you all to visit our office if you're in Cambodia. And usually we'll travel there and probably 2 weeks in Cambodia, 2 weeks in Singapore. And we are also proud to be the sponsor for this scholarships and scholarship space. So I'm really happy, on behalf of my opponent and DS Education, yeah, wishing you everyone here at the scholarship all the best for your educational journey. One choice at a time, and DS Education will inspire and help you to achieve your global success. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lama.
Thank you so much, Desmond,
Thank you.
for your support. And want to emphasize again. So the sponsorship money will directly go to support for the zero interest loan. And all of those will be having our sponsor as a committee so that when people apply for zero interest loans, the university students apply, our sponsor is well informed and transparent. Sounds good. Thank you. And
Thank you.
next slide, please. So what you learned today? So very similar to other bootcamp. Nothing is unique. Nothing is it's more like an open book. So what you learned today, understanding the scholarship criteria, the essay, personal statement training, career development impact planning. We will have courses and university selection guidance, one-on-one and group mentor, and an essay review. So throughout this 2 months, this is what you get. Okay. Next slide, please. So we want to make sure that everyone know what to do. The best thing is to create your Australian Award portal account and check your eligibility. Once you checked it, we're gonna cover a few things. The first thing, which is to understand yourself. For those who join boot camp, the previous boot camp, it could be a redundant for you because it is more in terms of understanding yourself, who you are, and why this career path is something that you would choose, and how we can assist you to make sure that, you're going to the right path. We're not an expert, but we want to make sure that you could hear from different scholars who walk your shoe before. Yeah. Next, please. So for us, it is, it is hard sometimes to understand who we are, what we want in life, not just now, but also in the next few years as well. We sometimes get confused. We sometimes feel like we get lost, and it's okay. It's part of life. But throughout this journey, I will guide you based on my own experience and knowledge only. I'm not an expert, but I want to make sure that I could be assisting you discover who you are, what is your purpose of life, and how you reach your goal, what motivate you, what resources you need, and then how applying to Australia uh, would help you reach your goal faster. Okay, next slide. So for our objective, like I mentioned before, it's about understanding your leadership self-assessment put into a framework, and then also understanding the essay, and let's apply together. Allow us to be a part of your journey. Okay. Next, purpose. So every scholarship, they have a theme. So you need to understand what is your theme. It's crucially important why you work in the field, what motivates you to do the field, what would be the result, impact, and lesson learned in the field. Okay, next slide. We are designing something called Scholarship Blueprint Journey, and it proved to be very helpful. And this is something that we will send in the group so for you to fill it out too. Next, please. So what is my journey scholarship? My scholarship journey would help you. So this is a guidance for you to do your own brainstorm in terms of who you are. There are some missing information here and there, but I want to make sure that you understand how to find yourself. So, what is your purpose of life? In terms of that, what problem, gap, or opportunity you want to solve, or you want to close the gap by identifying the problem, gap, or opportunity, how it's aligned to you, then you were able to find your theme. I know many of you would hear me later on asking, what is your theme? Why it's so important? You would hear it a lot. I saw Chai and Lynn was like laughing because that's what the question I would ask all the time when you meet with me. Ollie, can we move to problem real quick? Problem, gap, and opportunity. So in to the yes. So when you see this problem, gap, and opportunity, of course, we're trying to understand in terms of our society right now, especially in ASEAN and especially in Cambodia. What problem do you trying to solve? Is this a existing problem? What gap do you see in your society, the field that you're doing right now? What would be the opportunity that you foresee in the future that, you would think that a master program in Australia would help. When you understand clearly the problem, the gap, and opportunity, you need to pin it down in terms of external and internal. External meaning that something that you can control, something external meaning that something you cannot control, politics, weather, and all those. But internal, this is where you want to see the internal one. What internal that you can control just within your own kind of work that you perform every day. Meaning that, for example, I work in entrepreneurship for more than 10 years. What I see is a gap is that we don't have access to resources and opportunity. With that being said, I've been working as part of the government, private stakeholder to ensure that I close that gap. With this experience, I've been doing so and so and so with the impact and this and that. Connecting yourself to the internal problem that you can control. List it out in terms of who you are, what you've been doing, and how connecting to the university would be something that solve this problem, right? So with that being said, how can we guide you through understanding what is the internal? You need to understand in terms of part of the solution. How do you see yourself part of the solutions? What have you done? You said you're so passionate about, for example, the environment. What have you done? Why it's so matter to you? Why it's matter to the society that you're living in? Why it's so important? Okay? Chai and Lynn will laugh again, hearing that it's a nightmare for them, but it will be a nightmare for you too. The word why is so important. And so, okay? And can you move to the side? Yes. So what have you done? Why is so important? Can you change it? What are some change when you be a part of it? Anything can be changed. Big or small, you have to list it down and you have to pin what kind of example you want to use in your essay. What are some changes? What are the results? What are the impact? What are some lessons learned? For example, I change the perspective of people in my field to take a look in terms of XYZ. As the result, this is one, two, three, and its impact. When we're talking about impact, we're talking about something that long term and short term, something that people can count now and people cannot count now. It could be in the future. What do you see? Lesson learned, for example, what would be the lesson learned doing this project, leading this work in so many years? Lesson learned could be through the work that you do. You know that you work alone cannot solve big problem, but you have to work with different stakeholder to ensure you put the resource together. Lesson learned could be media is so important. When it comes to media into a problem, people solve the problem fast, something like this. What would be the lesson learned and how it connect to your choice of university, choice of major, and then at the same time, the work experience that you've been doing so far. Connect the dot is very important to every essay. Doesn't matter it's Chevening, Australian, New Zealand. You just need to connect the dot to ensure that you understand who you are, why it's important, and how bad you wanted it. Okay? And at the same time, don't forget to understand about your value, your principle, what you stand for. What is your value and principle? Because we joke around in terms of you don't want to work for the government because government is so corrupted, blah, blah, blah. It's just a perception. But what have you done? And then at the same time, where are you stand? Sometimes we'll say there's two things in Cambodia. After you walk abroad, Either you want to change the government or the government change you. Where do you stand? Prospectively, are you allow people to change you or you want to change the system? And then also, MOS is very important. MOS stands for motivations, resources, and skill. As you may see, we have MOS plus and MOS negative. What is MOS plus stand for? Motivation. This is something that I learned from my co-founders from Well. She taught me that. So motivations is something that motivate you, something that you wake up every day that you want to do. Resource plus is something that you already have, meaning your experience, meaning your network, meaning your whatever you identify as resources. Skill is something that you already have as well. Okay? Quite similar to MOS negative. What do you missing to fulfill your motivation? Oh, I have family burdens. Oh, society burdens. Oh, I have something that my motivation is not 100%. Resources. What kind of resources do you need? It's very important. You can list down the resources that you need. Could be a network, could be a skill, could be something else. What kind of resource do you need to make sure that you reach your goal, to make sure that this can lead you to find who you are and make impact for your country and society? What kind of skill do you need? And can Australian award or New Zealand award fulfill that gap? Get it? Okay. Can we move to the left? Yes. And then also don't forget to cover next step. What next step you need to be doing? Apply for scholarship. How many scholarship? Reach out to people. Wait. Next step. So reach out to people, identify who would be your mentor, how you plan to reach out, and all those stuff. Bootcamp is just a bootcamp. If you don't proactive, if you don't show how bad you wanted it, you're not gonna get it. So when you do that, you need to list down my supporter and resources. Who can be my supporter? What would be the resources? For example, as a mentor, we're not able to give you all the right answer. You need to differentiate in terms of, is it related to you? Is you cannot take all the advice. Some advice are not fitting with what you in right now. So for example, if I tell you that don't apply for this scholarship, will you follow me? No, right? So make your own judgment. And what I do a lot is I like to challenge people to think outside the box. I will ask you so that you need to prove to me how bad you wanted it. You need to show me how bad you wanted it. You need to show me how you will get it. That is my mentorship style. I keep asking you why. I keep asking you how. I keep asking you list me the experience and how you see this moving forward. So what I give, what I take is very important too. A lot of time, the bootcamp, what I want out of this bootcamp is you guys to build a long-lasting relationship with your fellow bootcamp alumni. What is this mean? Meaning that outside the bootcamp, connect with each other, asking each other for support, helping each other out. This is what make this bootcamp meaningful. You will never know. You'll find someone, right? Okay. And don't forget, be grateful and appreciative. How you nurture the connection, how this partnership, create and then show that it is outcome. Oh, it is still UK. Sorry, guys. but it meant to be the Australia and New Zealand, okay? And career goal is very important too. Um, Ask yourself a lot of these questions. I know you think that you are potential. That's why you apply for this scholarship. But remember, you are competing with thousands of people. Why they select you? Selecting could be something very straightforward. If you were to fund someone to get a scholarship, who would you fund? What kind of characteristic would you looking for? Do you demonstrate this kind of, work so that people select you? What kind of approach do you do? SMART framework is something very important, and we're gonna learn about SMART later on. What would be your implementing strategy when you upon your return? And even now, you need to understand that from the time you're applying for the scholarship until you get selected, people will ask, like, between the time, what have you done? And what kind of thing that you can promote or even like initiate as a collateral between the time, meaning that from the time that you're applying until the end, have you start new initiative? Is there any improvement with your work, your passion, and all those? And understanding resource channel is very important too. Try to list down in this box in terms of who would be your mentor, how you're gonna reach them. List at least five, six because you're gonna need it. Um, of course, we're trying to connect you to mentor, trying to review your essay at least two or three times, two at least. But you need to do your own due diligence, reach out to your mentor and find it out too. You can't just reaching out to one mentor or get your essay review one time and then you're done. That's not gonna work. Again, mentor are giving advice based on their experience, based on their knowledge. Therefore, at the end of the day, you make the final decision in terms of you accepting the advice or you want to prove in terms of this advice actually works. At the end of the day, it's your life, not the mentor's life. Okay? My opportunity cost, Ollie. So yes, in terms of my opportunity cost, this is where it's tricky. There are a lot of scholarship open at the same time. Which one you really wanted? How would you sacrifice? And then also people have different obligation and responsibility. How do you navigate through it? Can you ask people to help you? Do you let people know that you need time to apply for this so that you can delegate the work against how bad you wanted it? Okay. Um, Next, please, Ollie. Um, by the end of this sessions, I know it's a lot, so bear with me. What I want to ask you is to create your to-do list. One to-do list is check your eligibility. And then also, if you are not eligible, I advise you to learn how to work on it, but not submit for mentor review at this moment because I want to prioritize those who are eligible and applying. Okay. And what kind of to-do list you need to do after going through or listen to this my journey, and what would be your expectations in terms of joining the bootcamp, in terms of your journey applying for this scholarship, this two scholarship, and then also try to list down who is the role model in your field. Try to list down their quality, stalk them. There is something called LinkedIn, Facebook. follow them, learn from them, not just one. Your homework is to do five and list it down why they are the role model, why you think their work is important, what would be the influence, and how can you see yourself in a unique personal way be the next role model for the next, future generations. Sounds good? Any questions on this before I move forward? I know it's a lot. You will get this slide, but you need to do it.
How
Um,
long you from me?
yeah. I
Uh,
can't hear.
okay, sorry to interrupt you along the way. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, I'm on the way, so it's difficult for me to get on track together with you. Anyways, thanks for your time. But Bong, do you have this slide? If you have this slide, it's better to drop it into the Telegram group. That is why it's easy for me to get everything what you do the presentation here.
Okay, so I don't have the slide download for now, but you will get the recording later on. And
Okay.
then also
Uh,
for this framework, Ollie will drop it in the Telegram group.
Okay, Sangmong, I feel it's very valuable for me, and it's a key. It lists out many key elements that I need to find out. So it's good for me. It's my personal feeling. And one more thing, you asked to check the eligibility. Actually, in the previous round, last round of Australian Award Scholarship, I was passed into the interview stage and finally end up with the failure. I got failed finally. That is why I can say it right now that I am already eligible for this round.
Yes.
But the challenging is my IL. Actually, the mandatory of the IL test for Australian Award Scholarship for is only 1 year. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. Usually it's good for 2 years, but I could be wrong. But in terms of IL material, we will have it too. We will launch our app and then website, and then the app and website consists of the link to practice IL test later on too. That could support you.
Oh, right. Yeah, that sounds correct. Thanks for that one.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yes, yes. Thanks.
Um,
That's all
well,
for
the
me.
question, yes, thank you. So the question is, do you have any question related to this framework before I move forward?
Oh, actually, I didn't get it uh, well while you do present because I'm driving, and now I'm stopped to interrupt you asking that question. I will check it later if I have any later. I will direct you.
Yes, yes. Okay, sounds good. Ollie, can we move forward, please? Okay. So as you may know that applying scholarship, they ask a lot of questions, right? But at the end of the day, you need to ensure that your essay, the whole thing, every answer is a one connecting dot. So therefore, having ability to tell a story is very important. It's not that, oh, Bong, why don't you teach me how to answer those questions? Because we have 4 or 5 questions. Why don't you teach me that? Why you have to have me go through my journey, understand all of those? But believe it or not, if you don't find yourself, what you want and your theme, you're gonna end up redo your essay, respond back and forth because it's not connecting. You would, or sometimes let's hear from our speaker later on, but storytelling is very important. Okay, and through this journey, we're gonna learn how to do telling together, and it is very important that you committed to this boot camp. And I want to make sure that you try your best in terms of that. There's gonna be a strict deadline in terms of submitting the application for the review, and then also homework too. We have a lot of people. We want to prioritize who submitted first so that we can review it on time and give you feedback on time. There are more than 100 people applying, so I want to make sure that everyone have equal opportunity to get review. Sounds good? Next, please. Okay, how would you capture all the informations? Many of you see this before. It is star approach. So you need to tell situation, task, action, and result. But all of this, you need to add impact. What kind of impact would you bring in terms of answering this? What is the lesson learned? And number is very important in every type of essay. You need to capture the number, the impact. Sounds good? Next, please. Do and don't. This is very important. Make sure you find your theme before you start your essay. You try to connect the dot. So the framework itself is more like a structure to find who you are, your life purpose, your experience, and how this experience help you get selected to this scholarship. And what will you do after you get the scholarship or you come back to the your own country. This is very important. So you try to connect the dot. Be specific as much as possible, but be optimistic too. Okay. And then also try to highlight your journey in terms of list it down the work experience. You need to demonstrate your passion for the scholarship. You need to do your due diligence. I was like, Bong, can you share me the link to check your eligibility? Of course, I can share. But why can't you do your own research to find your eligibility link, right? Bong, can you tell me when is the deadline for this scholarship? Like, do I need to do research for you? Or Bong, this and that. You need to do your own diligence. You are mature enough to looking for. You need to show again how bad you wanted it. You need to seek support, not just mentor from here, but outside too, but in a respectful way. We often get it. A lot of mentors get it too. Hi, I need it done by today. Like, who are you? Why do I have to give my time for you for free in terms of get it done today? You can't. And then also you need to respect like life changing too. That's why Bong said in terms of reaching out to a few mentor, if one cannot help you, you go to the next one. You are not, the main hero in this story. So before you reach out to people, you asking people for help. They not owe you anything. Okay? But when you write the essay, you are the hero of your own story. In Khmer, we call it tu ai, right? If you don't think yourself is a hero, then it's gonna hard to convince other people that you are the hero. You need it. Okay? Next, please. Don't, it's the same, Ali. I just wanna make sure that once you demonstrate avoid last minute rush. I know before the deadline, everything is rush minute until you click submit, but try not to submit it on the same day of the deadline. Stay true to yourself and maintain your authentic voice. Try not to think a lot in terms of, Be yourself, be authentic. Limit your dependency on AI. This is very important. Sometimes people use it, but AI is just a tool. When you use too much AI, you're not authentic anymore. Okay? I would say your essay looks great, but your IL didn't show. Your essay looks great, but when you went to interview, you can't perform, right? And then also always trust your judgment. We don't know you. Your mentor don't know you. Even your best friend don't know you as well as you do. So try to listen to your own judgment because you know yourself best. And sometimes avoid overthink. Put it down on the paper first. When you overthink a lot, nothing done. But put down on the paper. I know that Chai and Lynn will be talking about this in terms of like what to put on. Like you never know like how many times they changed their essay before they got selected. But yeah, open for feedback again, but don't let it overshadow your uniqueness. Plan ahead and respect all the time. And then also build your own kind of network and supportive group so that you have each other to lean on. Sounds good? Okay. That's a lot. I'm so sorry, but here we go. Question and answer again. Any questions? Anyone who wanna know more? We will have more training based on the question that asked on the essay, but you need to first submit your first draft of my journey and show me the structure of how you plan to do it first. That is the homework, Ali. So make sure that they have the structure. Okay. No questions? Wow. All good. Feel like I done my job. Either you get everything or you get nothing.
And some of them
Okay.
ask in a chat form, so I just reply to them with the text. So they already asked for.
Okay. Oh. Ali, can you read the question for me on?
Yes. One asking how to prepare for the scholarship for rural candidates. So he's from the rural area, and then he want to know how to prepare.
This is how you prepare. Show up, do the work. Because my goal is to inspire those who not in the city. That's why we host it online. So you don't have to wait for people to go to your province to do the sharing sessions. And even sharing sessions, they cannot, answer everything and in one day. That's why we have a lot of workshop date so that we can be a part of your journey. Okay. And you can build a team later on, asking people in your own kind of network in this group, because that's why it's the reason that we create the Telegram group. Okay. Next questions. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to wait for Ali to answer your questions.
Hello, Bong. Can I have a quick question, please?
Yes, who's talking? Oh, Nathan?
It's Nathan. Yeah.
Yes.
I thank you so much because in the slide and also in your talk you mentioned that once know uh yourself more than yourself, right? So this is a similar experience to last year, so I just maybe want the thought on it a bit. So, for example, if candidate prepare multiple time, have multiple review, and there are certain point they reach a point where they don't feel like, oh, I need a mentor to review it, or maybe the mentor review it, but then they still feel like, oh, I don't have anything to change. I think this essay reflect me as a person, so it is okay for candidate not to revise if they feel confident in that essay, correct? Thank you.
Right. Yes. If you are confident, you know, mentor are being there just to tap on your shoulder, saying that, hey, how about this? How about that? But at the end of the day, you make your own decision because it's your life, not our life. Of course, we are care as a mentor. We try to, there are different kind of mentor. There are people who, like cheer you on and all those, but I'm not that kind of mentor. I would say straight to your face and make sure that you go through hell. I know.
You will hear a lot of why it's so important every day.
Yes. Because I need to make sure you get selected too. Yes. Next questions? Maybe not.
Hi,
Oh,
Mom.
yes.
Hi, Mom. I'm Tiksai. Thank you so much for your sharing and the guiding through the your journey. Now, you mentioned about mentor. Maybe I didn't catch that one up. You mentioned about mentors. So, when and how do we get to know our mentors? Like, are you assigning one for us,
Both.
or
Both. So,
okay? How
so,
does
ba-
that work?
so basically, you will submit your essay and we will distribute it to mentor in your field and they comment it. And also there's gonna be time that you will assign to speak with your mentor,
Uh,
perhaps almost by the end of the deadline of the application or somewhere between March. So we have you do you understand speed dating? It's
mm,
speed mentoring.
uh,
So basically you submit your essay, mentor note it down, their comments, and then you will be put into a Zoom group with your mentor. And for example, one mentor, two participants. So during that 3 hours, 2 hours, because the mentor, what I asked them to is to spend no more than 4 hours throughout this process. That's how I reach out to my mentor and then I want to stick with it. Yes.
all right. Yes.
Yes. With
Well,
that being,
thank you. I'll make
yes.
sure to work on the draft to get to see my mentor.
Yeah. If you submit it, you get it. And if you submit last minute, you don't. That's it.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Bin Hong.
Yeah, well, I have a quick question because I understand this is a boot camp for the Australia World Scholarship and the Manaaki New Zealand. So
Yeah.
when we write the application to, for you to review, do we write both at the same time for you to review, or still like AAS in February and then Manaaki in March?
Both at the same time because it's due at the same time.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's
Thank
it.
you, well, thank you.
Yes. Next, please. Next slide, Ali.
Bong, I think we have one question in the chat. Like he is asking about like some applicants from like few candidates, they still can be selected for interview stage, even if they already send their works to most of mentors and alumni to review and make changes. Yes, Bong.
Repeat the question again, please.
I think he's asking like some of the few candidates they're not getting the selected for interview stage, although they reach out to the mentors and alumnus to review their essays, but he want to know why they're not selected, although they try to reach to the mentors and alumni and to review them.
It's depend on the mentor too. Like, how do you communicate with them? Do you do your own follow up? Because again, we have our life too. If you don't follow up, if you don't, you need to follow your mentor. Like someone follow me to the dorm, to the condo, to, you know, you need to show how bad you wanted it. We have life move on in terms of different things, family, work, personal hobby, and all those. You need to catch us, not us follow up it for you. Yes?
The next question is when should be the best time to submit the essay, and where should we submit the essay to mentors from?
Okay. As you may see, we have different date. So basically, each of the date you will have homework, and each of the homework will cover the questions that you need to answer. But first, you need to show us the structure, how you plan to answer your essay first. That's gonna be homework. So just stay tuned and trust the process. And for those who made it to the interview stage last year, I want you to inform Ali. Ali, raise your hand. Reach Ali and say hi to them in the group so that they reach you and submit your old application so that we can help review early and we can help mentoring in terms of what we think you should do. Okay? Sounds good. Feel like a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, Pong. So I'm gonna share the next slide.
Yes. I thought we're done. Okay. It is done.